All right, Roman back here with some more equipment review. The last video I did was about a month ago. I did on the Apogee Ensemble, the interface. I'm going to start getting into a little bit of the 500 series gear and talk about certain pieces. I have a couple pieces back here I'm going to be talking about over the next few weeks and breaking them down, what they sound like, exactly what I'm using them for, what I like to use them for. Today specifically, I'm going to be talking about a compressor. It's made by a company called DIYRE. They sell this as an assembled unit or as a kit that you can build. This kit I built myself, and if you feel comfortable doing, some soldering, you can build yourself a really nice 500 series compressor for a really good price, really high quality components throughout the entire build used in the whole PC board's pretty high quality. So a shout out to DIYRE, check them out. They've got some awesome gear for some amazing prices. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, we're going to do a close-up here of the compressor. As you can see here in the upper left-hand corner, it says OLA5. That's the compressor model. Down here at the bottom right-hand corner, it says DIYRE. That is the company that is making these compressors. Again, can't recommend them enough. Go and check them out. But yeah, getting into the face plate of the compressor, here's what's going on. This type of compressor has a set attack and release, meaning that you can't get in there and set how fast or slow you want the attack or release on the signal that you're running through it, which is kind of nice in a sense because it makes the compressor a little bit simpler to use. You only have 3 knobs, and you can set it up to where you're only using 2 knobs, and I'll explain that to you here in a moment. But what's going on is here's your threshold. So you can set your threshold, and the more you drive your threshold, whatever you're running through it is going to increase the amount of gain reduction. So the stronger you drive your threshold, the more gain reduction you're going to see. The less you drive your threshold, the less amount of gain reduction that you'll see here on the LED meters. Here is the makeup gain. So as you compress, whatever you're compressing, you're usually probably going to lose a little bit of drop in volume. So then you would use your makeup gain to exactly what that's called. You'd make up the gain, so you could either increase or decrease depending on if you want the output of the signal to be louder or quieter. And then it has this really cool feature. So the third knob down here, what this is it says mix. So it's basically a mix knob, or you could think of it as like a blend knob. You can either have this engaged or disengaged by just clicking this. So with the button out, it's completely disengaged. It basically renders this knob useless, and you're only using your threshold and your makeup gain, and it's being ran completely through the signal. So you're going through the transformer, 100% of the signal is going through the compressor. With the button engaged, you can basically set how much the compressor is mixed into the signal. So you could technically be hitting a lot more gain reduction and just barely driving the compressor in, and you wouldn't really hear it. Or if you had it all the way up, you would probably hear it if you're hitting a lot of compression. But again, this is a really gentle compressor. That's why I like it. It's very transparent, but it is also has the ability to bite and sound good. The mix knob is an amazing feature. It allows you to, like I said, just blend the sound in, and you can hear it. The more you blend it in, you can hear the signal hitting the transformer inside the compressor, and you can really start to hear it saturate with some cool harmonics. Or again, you have the option of just having that disengaged and completely bypassing this. There's 2 modes that can be set. With the limit button disengaged, you're at a 2-to-1 compression, which is a really light compression. You can be hitting a gain reduction of about 10, 12 dB, and you'll barely even hear it because again, it's really light compression. It's 2-to-1. And then you can click the limit button, and the way that I have this set up is it's 4-to-1, and basically what that means is every 4 dBs the signal goes over, it's going to be compressed by 1 dB. So say you're hitting 4 decibels of gain reduction, it's going to be compressing 1. If you're hitting 8 decibels of gain reduction, it's going to be compressing 2. So that's basically what a 4-to-1 compression would mean. You can set this up via a jumper inside this unit, where the limit button will go to a 12-to-1. So it can be the 2-to-1 or 12-to-1, and that can be cool too, because again, even on the 12-to-1 setting, you could potentially just blend this knob in and not being hearing too much heavy compression. But the way I have it set up right now is a 2-to-1 and a 4-to-1, which I really like. I feel like that's usually enough for what I'm doing. I've used this compressor a lot for acoustic guitar and vocals at the moment, and either one, it makes everything that goes through it sound great and nice. It brings it right up front and just pushes it forward in the mix really easily and really nicely. It also has a high pass filter button, and it has a link button that you can use for linking two pairs if you wanted to set up a stereo pair and put them, for example, on your mix bus, or if you just wanted to use them in stereo, you have the option to link them up. It has this bypass button, which is amazing because you can just, with the click of a button right here, you can hear the signal in the compression, and then you can just pop it out, and that way it allows you to A/B it very easily, the raw signal and then the process signal in the compressor, just by the click of a button. And it's got this nice LED light that lights up that indicates that. The buttons, the knobs are stepped, so that's pretty cool. If you're using this as like a plug-in, you can, kind of use somewhat recall because it is a stepped. Each knob is stepped, so that kind of helps when coming back to a certain setting. So again, yeah, that's pretty much the full overview of the OLA5. It's got this really nice brushed aluminum faceplate. It has a really nice look, a really nice feel. The knobs feel very solid. No issues there at all whatsoever. The metering is really nice. It's really, it's red. It's clear to see what's going on. And so yeah, there's the OLA5, again, DIYRE. Make sure you go check them out. I'm going to open up the unit and let you see what's going on inside, some of the circuits, the transformer, the type of op amp that's inside of this, and then after that I'm going to run some signal through it and allow you to hear exactly what it's doing and what it sounds like. So let's get into that. Alright, we got the unit pulled off here, so here's an inside shot. Just want to show you what's going on really quickly. These guys use really high quality components throughout the entire build. Here's your really nice output transformer that your signal runs through. You have the option to change these jumpers here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but it says a vintage and then there's a modern version. So if you wanted, you could move these jumpers over and you could bypass this whole vintage output stage. This is also part of the vintage output stage. This is the op amp that it runs through, but if you didn't want it quite so thick, the signal that you're running through the compressor, you'd have to pull it out of the chassis, as you can see, but you could change these jumpers and you could go to a modern sound, which wouldn't be quite as bringing in at quite as much low end. There's also, I don't know if you'll be able to see here, but this is the jumper that you would change either from 4-to-1 or 12-to-1. You could set your limit mode, so when you engage the limit button, it would either be a 4-to-1 or a 12-to-1. Right now I have it set as a 4-to-1, so yeah, just a quick inside shot seeing what's going on and how you would change things if you wanted to change the different settings of the compressor. It's not really too hard, but you do have to pull the unit out, but it is nice that it has those features. So yeah, a quick inside shot. Here's a close-up. You can see what's going on here. Hopefully it stays in focus enough. But yeah, and these op amps, these are just like any other type of op amp. It just pops in with some pins. So if you wanted to try to give the compressor some different flavor or use different brands made by different companies, it just takes a couple seconds to pop that thing out, and you could pop a different type of op amp inside. So here's a quick inside shot of the compressor. See what's going on. Got some really cool components in here. Here are the inside of here is where the optical lights are, which is basically the sensors for the compressor. And yeah, so there you go. Now we're going to get into running some signal through it so you can hear exactly what it sounds like. The top track is the guitar with no compressor, which is in the blue, and the bottom track down here is the guitar running through the OLA5, which is compressed. And again, the top track here, which is blue, is the vocal uncompressed. And then the bottom track here, which is red, is the vocal running through the OLA5.
Boom, crash. I emerge from the blast and pass past the path of other man's grasp. Boom, crash. I emerge from the blast and pass past the path of other man's grasp. In a flash, I outlast the number man's math. With the wrath, I come crash like Tupperware glass. In a flash, I outlast the number man's math. With the wrath, I come crash like Tupperware glass.
Alright, so that pretty much wraps it up for the demonstration of the OLA5. I just wanted to do some light A and B comparisons. Hopefully you can hear what's going on. Let me know what you think. To me, it sounds like anything that I'm running through the compressor, it kind of brings a lot of the detail that gets left behind. It brings it forward and kind of helps everything just sparkle a little bit more, which I really like. But yeah, over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be doing a couple more videos of different 500 series gear, so I'll be putting those out pretty soon. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop me a message. Shalom.